We've got a long ways to go, but all the little things that are important with their body language and attitude and their work ethic and allowing themselves to be coached has been excellent.
Depth-wise, are there any areas that concern you at this stage? And I know you got some guys banged up, but it seems like most of them will be back for preseason, for the summer. But are there any areas right now you look at and say, man, we're going to have to get lucky there. We're going to have to stay really healthy, or we're going to have somebody come through?
We're not going to be as deep in the secondary as we were last year, and certainly not going to be as deep in the defensive line. We should be better off in the offensive line. Wideouts should be okay. Running backs should be okay. So those positions are a concern that I mentioned. The others would be somewhat comparable to what we've been in the last few years.
Coach Spencer earlier said that Ramon addressed the team after practice today. Is that a kind of a leadership, kind of a sign of where he's at and his ability to kind of motivate his teammates a little bit?
We've allowed one player per practice to address the team if our coaching staff thinks that they've earned the right, their loyalty, commitment, toughness, the things that are important to our program. And so we started with our 7 committee members. The guys that get on the committee have earned that right. And then from that point on, Zach Veach, Ramon, players that we trust that have worked themselves to a point to where the team respects them in a coaching staff's opinion.
We asked you about him after the scrimmage on Friday. I mean, I know he had a sequence that was pretty impressive. When you went back and looked at the tape, did you see, I mean, Ramon stuck out at times in a good way.
He's fast. He's understanding now. He's had enough reps to get a feel. He seems to realize the commitment it takes day in and day out. I mentioned 3 players today. Ramon was one of them. Juwan Seals, in comparison to Kenneth Magruder, in that both of them competed today at a high level. Seals is, he's like I joked with the team, like a 10-year vet. He's been around here forever, and Magruder's new. Both of them have a similar personality on the field, and one's a young player that's starting to understand, and the other is a veteran player that realizes he has to have a strong commitment in order to get better, even in his last season. So those guys are players that I feel like have been committed to our team this spring at different levels of their eligibility in our program.
Have you decided on a format for a week from Saturday?
Not really, just based on what our health is.
Yeah.
If you lose a couple guys with tweaked ankles or hams or such, then you're somewhat limited in what we can do in a game atmosphere. We want to put on the best show we can for our fans. I would love to split teams and have a game, but if we don't feel like that we can execute enough to where the crowd would enjoy the game, then we'll come up with some other format. But our goal is to get the players on the field with the fans for 30 minutes before the game, and then have a good hour and a half atmosphere of football. Hopefully it would be a game type, but if not, enough of a scrimmage setting where the fans would leave and feel like that they've gotten a good feel for Oklahoma State football for this fall.
This time last year, there was a lot of talk about Victor Saleko and kind of what his impact on the program would be. How has he developed, do you think, since he first got here to what you're seeing out of him?
He's matured considerably. He's been terrific for us as a person and a player. He's developing some run blocking skills. He was a good pass protector for us. He had a procedure in the off season where he removed, they thought he had a bone spur in his ankle, and he had 2 of them. They were about the size of an acorn. So if you remember during the season, when a lot of times on a big play he would kind of limp his way toward the line of scrimmage, after they removed those from his ankle, we understood why that he was limping sometimes, and he feels much better now. So we're excited about where he's at. He came from UAB, which is a high level of football, but it's still not the same, and I don't think it moves as fast as it does at this level consistently. So he's made adjustments, and he's improved now considerably over where he was at this time last year.